I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Well, this is going to be controversial. This is a PayPal request for Vonte. Thank you so much. For people who want to request pretty much any type of video, review, re-review, topic, reaction, you send in the request either directly by PayPal or via joining my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Or if you want to support the channel, or if you want to donate, whatever, feel free. But one of the requests he had was my thoughts on the original Night of the Living Dead. And I saw that and went, oh shit. I respect the film. I respect what it did. I can't sit here and say I liked it though. I don't. I didn't grow up with the film. I saw the film well after watching stuff like Dawn of the Dead, which I love. I love George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, which is actually one of Vonte's other requests. I love that film tremendously. I love the plot. I love the idea in the mall. I love a lot of the characters, and the dialogue, and the interactions the characters have, and the action, and the just, it had everything that I wanted. Like Dawn of the Dead to me is an epic. This though, I respect what it did. I respect for the time it was made, 1968. You did not have films like this. You didn't have films with this violence. You didn't have films where, okay, zombies, but they're flesh eaters, because originally it was going to be called Night of the Living Ghouls. Zombies were thought of a different way, like White Zombie with Bela Lugosi, or maybe more of a voodoo thing. But this, undead, flesh eating, you didn't really see that around this time. And it shocked people, and it scared people. But I can't fucking sit here and lie and say it did that to me. So yeah, I may respect it, but doesn't mean I have to like it. Yes, I understand that without Night of the Living Dead, you would not have Dawn of the Dead, which is one of my favorite films, one of my favorite it's my favorite zombie films, one of my favorite horror films, one of my favorite films of the 70s. You would not have the zombie films, the zombie genre. You wouldn't have The Walking Dead, you wouldn't have all this stuff. I understand and respect how influential it was. But when I sit here and I think of zombie films, I think of horror films, I think of classics, people go, well, you just hate it just to be different. You just hate it because you hate everything. You just hate it. And I'm like, you pick any year. I can name shitload of films I enjoy. The classics, I reviewed a lot of the Universal monster movies. I enjoyed Dracula. I enjoyed Frankenstein. I enjoyed The Invisible Man. I enjoyed Bride of Frankenstein. I haven't reviewed them, but I enjoy The Thing from Another World from the 50s. I enjoy them from the 50s. I enjoy Halloween, which I think is a classic. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I think is a classic. Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, I think is a classic. Alfred Hitchcock films. I enjoy The Birds. I enjoy Rear Window. Even Psycho has grown on me a bit. But this has not. Now, I like Duane Jones as Ben. He's the only thing I like about it. In fact, I like the remake of this more. I like the remake more because I think the entire cast does a better job. Yes, I like the ending more. I like that the lead is not this fucking catatonic, useless waste of space. And that's one of the things I hate about this film. I hate Judith O'Dea's performance. It's not her fault. It's what she was told to do. So it's the way it was written. I understand people go, well, man, what, does every lady have to be Ellen Ripley? Does every lady have to be Sarah Connor? Or as most people say, Sarah Connor. I'm like, yes. But the truth, no, of course not. But you know what? That doesn't mean they need to be this waste of space. I get it. Well, it's more realistic that a person, they could be catatonic because their brother died and all this other stuff, and they're so scared or frightened that they can't do anything. There are people that would be catatonic. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that'd be more realistic. But just because something's realistic doesn't mean it's more effective. Sorry. That's not always the case. Even George Romero agrees with that. Why do you think after this he never did that again? When he had a lady like Dawn of the Dead, okay, she's gonna learn how to be a helicopter pilot. She's gonna do this and that. She doesn't want to just stay behind and be a damsel. She's gonna take the flare and fight the zombie that wants to hang out with her at the airport and sell her some pamphlets. Day of the Dead, what do I have? Laurie Cardille, who's a scientist, and she's the one who will stand up to Captain Rhodes. What do I have? Aja Argento, who would be willing to fight in Land of the Dead. It's kind of like when Wes Craven did, what was it, Swamp Thing, and Adrienne Barbeau kept tripping, and then Wes Craven saw the film with her daughter, and her daughter told her, Dad, not all of us girls trip and fall. And then what's the next film he did? A Nightmare on Elm Street. Heather Langenkamp, Nancy. Much more successful venture. So I'm sorry, yeah, I get that you just say, well, not every lady has to be Ellen Ripley. Not every lady has to be this strong, masculine. I'm not saying you have to be that. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna like someone who's just a fucking useless, who's one of the main characters, just does nothing. To the point that I wanted to reach through the screen and be like, you remember that scene in Airplane when the lady was hysterical and everybody, including Leslie Nielsen, beat the shit out of her, and it showed the line of people with boxing gloves and guns ready to beat the shit out of the person? That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to reach in to slap the shit out of the character. Not Judith O'Dea, the actress. The character. And the other people. I didn't give a fuck about the other people. I didn't think they were that good in acting. Duane Jones has been, he was good. The others, I thought he easily outshined everybody else. I think the remake, the acting is better. Patricia Tallman is definitely more interesting of a character, in my opinion. There's really no character to Judith O'Dea. How could there be a character when 90% of her role is... That's it. At least Patricia Tallman goes through a type of arc. And the ending, I think, in the remake, I think, is effective. Because you get the same gist, you get the same idea, but it's more palatable. I get it. It's a horror film. It's not supposed to be, what's a horror film, Matt? It's meant to horrify. Well, that's where it goes in the different tastes. I can't have your taste. This is not, your taste isn't my taste. This is my taste. I'm not going to like a film because, well, everybody likes it. Then what is your fucking opinion? That's the thing. Like, if I have an opinion, it's my opinion. That way, if I say I like the original Halloween, you're like, okay, he actually does like it. If he didn't, he would say it. Oh, I do sincerely like the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I do sincerely like Dracula, because I like Bela Lugosi's performance. I do like Frankenstein with Boris Karloff. I do like this and that. I do like Horror of Dracula. Right, it's one of the only Hammer horror films I like, but I like Horror of Dracula. Okay, he actually means it. It's not, well, I'm going to say because it's part of history. But do you like it? Well, I mean, Without it, we would not have the zombie genre. Okay, but do you like it? Yeah, but yes, I do. Why? Well, yes, there's a lot of people who sincerely like the film, but I guarantee you, there is a section of people who only liked it because of its status. Same with The Exorcist, even films I like sincerely. Halloween. You can't tell me in this day and age where you have a lot of people that are sheep. Not all. Let me stress that. Not all. But there are people that you probably even know that will go with something just because the crowd does it. Because if you say something different, then you're not popular. Then go, well, okay, Matt, what is it about this film you dislike? When I first saw this, I was bored. I fell asleep. Watch it again, I still felt bored. I was something about like the remake. I thought the remake, maybe because I liked the characters more, because there's a bit something more to the characters. A bit more where Patricia Tallman would actually talk with Tony Todd and not just be, they would actually have conversations. I thought Tom Tolles was a bit more interesting as Cooper. And I felt more of that dynamic. I felt more of that heat and friction between Tony Todd and Tom Tolles. More of that struggle. And yes, because I know it's not fair to say, but the improved effects do help as well. Here, some of the way the shots are angled are not too bad. On the flip side, the music is very overbearing. It's that old school music, and you know what? Sometimes that music works. If it's in The Thing from Another World, it works. But maybe because by the point I first saw the film, the history of films I'd seen in the zombie genre, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead Part 2, Dead and Deader, like all these other films I had seen, Shaun of the Dead, Zombieland. I can't retroactively look at a film and be like, oh, I liked it, when I don't. It's one of those things where I saw so many other films after it, that came out after it, and then when I saw this, I went, I don't know, this music, I'm so used to zombie films having a certain soundtrack or a certain feel, a certain tone, but when I hear this music as if I'm waiting for Superman to come in, George Reeves to come in and save the day, or George Reeves is, there's danger involved, where's Superman? You know, that kind of old school music mixed in with flesh-eating zombies, for me, it doesn't fit the dynamic of flesh-eating zombies, but I can't help it. It just doesn't do much for me, dog. It doesn't do much for me. The other actors, like Judith, her character annoyed the piss out of me because of how useless she was. The other actors, I thought they were a bit less quality compared to Duane Jones. The budget, I think the budget does show. When the couple are driving and the car's on fire, you could tell they're not moving. You could tell they're just sitting there. Okay, get out. You could tell it's not moving. So I do think some of the low budget does show. I can't sit here and say the movie scared me or creeped me out or I felt suspense. Because it's a film that's been so talked about that you know about the film before you even saw it. Before I even saw it for the first time, I knew what it was. I knew what would happen. I knew about the ending. So, is that the movie's fault? Technically, no. But just, that's what I mean, I can't, that's why I'm not the typical reviewer, aka why I'm not a good reviewer. They looked at the movie by itself. I can only look at how I felt, how I reacted, the time, the place, everything put in together of seeing the film. And I watch and I view and I go, I really care about the acting. I remember seeing the remake and enjoying it more. I thought that the actors were better. I thought they were more fluid in their performances. I thought the music was definitely more fitting for that film. compared to this. Yes, I understand it's a film from 1968, to be fair. But I think the music and stuff worked, and the birds, and they worked for what they had in Rear Window, and, you know, films back in the day as well. The effects on the zombies, they're very limited because of the budget, so they couldn't do much with showcasing the zombies. So you're not going to have a lot makeup-wise. Because it's black and white, you don't really get the viciousness of the gore. The ending I always fucking hated. I thought it was a cheap shot. I did what it's trying to detail. I did what it's trying to say about society, that, you know, these people are so gun-ho, they see a black man and they just decide to shoot him anyway, even though he was human, and about how humanity is ugly, and how, yeah, I understand the themes. I understand the thought process. But when you go into your personal taste, it's not my personal taste. I'm sorry, it's not. I can't lie and say it is. It's not. I understand not every movie's going to have a happy ending. I understand that. That doesn't mean I have to like it. And some do it better than others. John Carpenter, to me, does that better than a lot of others. And again, it's like George Romero, some of the stuff I'm saying, it's like even George Romero thought the same, because he never did that type of ending again. The theme with the lead actress, he never did that again. And that's why I think his films like Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead were better. I think they took what, for me, not you, not the scholars, me, my personal opinion, the flaws. Well, you call it fat? No, it's not fat, it's opinion. That's why it's called an opinion. For me, what the flaws were, okay, I think the music is better in this. I think the lead actress does a better job. Her character is a bit more to her. The ending is more satisfying. And so the rest of it is a lot of times of them watching the TV, and the TV trying to explain what's going on, but not really, but kind of explain what's going on. But they don't want to give 100%, well, it's a meteor, it's this and that. It's, okay, we're kind of getting an idea why there's zombies, but not really, so don't tell the whole thing. And looking back, watching the film, okay, you're watching it like an archaeologist, like this is how it was back in the day. But I looked at it, do I get any scares from it? No. Do I get any suspense from it? No. Do I get any fear factor of it? I'm sorry, no. Do I like the characters? Duane Jones, to an extent, it's sad he did not get a lot of roles. He should have, because he was a good actor. The rest of the people, I didn't give a fuck about them. The events, well, I think they were done better in the remake, so it made me go, why don't I just rewatch the remake? Because I thought, like I said, the cast was better. Obviously, superficial stuff like the makeup, it being in color. Yes, some films work well in black and white. Clerks, Ed Wood, Dracula. But I can't, when you look at a zombie film, I do think it's more effective in color than black and white. And again, I know this was the first, or one of the first. It's definitely the first of the flesh eating. I understand that. But I've seen so many other zombie films that I find more exciting, or more thrilling, or more crazy, or more gory, or more characters that are more interesting, or more quirky, or when you tell me, what do you want to watch, this or Return of the Living Dead? Well, I want to watch Return of the Living Dead. There's her getting her titties out, running around in a cemetery. Do you want to watch this or Dawn of the Dead? Well, Dawn of the Dead, they're in a mall shooting a shitload of headshots. Do you want to watch this or Shaun of the Dead? Well, Shaun of the Dead is more entertaining, it's funny, it's hilarious. Do you want to watch this or Zombieland? Same thing I said with Shaun of the Dead. It's not a zombie film, but do I want to watch this or 20 Days Later? Well, 20 Days Later seems like it goes at a faster pace, and I like the actors a bit more than this. So, I know I keep going around and around in circles, but I like Duane Jones. I don't care about any of the other actors. I don't care about any of the characters. The movie I found quite boring. I think it doesn't hold up today. That's just my little opinion. The music, I think, got very overbearing at times. I think the ending, it's not meant to be happy, of course. It's just not my cup of tea. I respect what it was at the time, but that doesn't automatically give it... Okay, let me say it this way. I can't say it's not a good movie, to be fair. It's just a movie that was of its time, and even though it's a movie of its time, for me, it's just a movie that doesn't hold up, and it's not my cup of tea. Because I think I had to watch the birds and Rear Window, and some of the effects of the birds aren't the best, but for the time, it was fine, and that's why even with that said, I just say, for what it's trying to do, I think it holds up. Same with The Thing from Another World. I just still say it holds up because I thought the characters, with the way they really snapped that dialogue back and forth, and it still has one great steer. The Thing from Another World, when they have the detector, they open it and there's the fucking thing right in the doorway. I'm like, oh shit. I remember when I saw that the first time when I was a kid. I'm like, oh shit. That's like a great jump steer. You did one jump steer in the movie and it fucking worked. Like The Thing from Another World, like that movie with the music, that music fit the film very well. And that one was not boring. See, The Thing from Another World, I think, is a lot better movie than this. And that came out before this. And that's a black and white film. Man, it makes me want to rewatch The Thing from Another World. It really does. I know that's not a request, but I may watch that. Just, I haven't seen it in a while. I really do like The Thing from Another World. John Carter's The Thing's my favorite, but see, that's where like people are, oh, that film I think did stuff better than this with the characters and the spitball and the dialogue, and the ending was more satisfying, and the characters were more interesting, and even that chick had more to do than Judith O'Dea's character. And I know they're not the same plot-wise, but I keep harping on that because people go, well, it's just an old film, it's just a black and white film. No, I think that film's better than this. That film's not as boring as this. That music fit better in this. No, I mean, see, that's one of the things, Vonte, why I never reviewed Night of the Living Dead, because I know no matter how I word it, it'd be a shitty review, and I know this is a shitty review, so I apologize. It all comes down to different tastes. I can't share other people's tastes. I can only share my own taste. That's with everything on my channel. Number one, I'm not much of a reviewer. Number two, I have specific tastes. That and many other things are why I'm not a popular guy, but I'm not going to sit here and lie. So, there you go. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.